Hello and welcome, friends. I hope you're ready to fight.
It is clearly getting to that time of year again when I need to start closing the curtains behind me because everything looks very washed out. But it's like 75 degrees outside, and I have the
I know
window
it's
open.
gorgeous. It's beautiful out.
And I couldn't bring myself to close the curtains. I couldn't. So I'm just going to
Understandable.
look extra pale and all that.
Ghostly. I like it.
Yes. Ooh, spectral.
How's it going, bestie? What's up?
Fine. Just, living the dream. Whatever that means.
Sure, why not?
I just remember, like, in the early days of the pandemic, like, when people asked how you were doing, there was only, like, 2 appropriate answers, and one of them was living the dream. I can't remember what the other one was.
Hanging in there?
I don't remember. It was something, meaningless,
Something along those lines. Yeah, something along those lines.
Yeah. But yeah.
I am currently test driving some new glasses. What do we think? Chat?
Because they're your Herbert West glasses.
They are my Herbert West glasses, which is technically part of my worsening, the fact that I went and bought real glasses frames for a cosplay, but I kind of like them, so I think I might get a little more out of that.
Are they blue light lenses or just clear lenses?
Yep, just blue light.
Cool. Nice.
But, that's pretty much everything that's new with me.
Yeah, we're very exciting this week. I mean, ooh, that breeze.
Ghostly.
I'm on spring break this week.
Exciting!
So, yeah, it's like I don't exactly have a lot. Well, I don't want to say I don't have a lot going on, because I do. I think I'm done with crutches.
Yay! That's exciting!
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm done with that. And 2 days ago, for the first time, I wore a regular shoe.
Very nice.
I'm still limping, and it still, like, sucks, and I can't be up for very long, but I can walk in a regular shoe with no crutches for the first time in, what has it been, 6 weeks.
Absolutely love that for you, bestie.
Yeah, so that's pretty exciting. That's been, like, my big accomplishment, is working myself up to, like, putting on a shoe.
I'm loving the shirt, by the way.
Oh yes, this is my "Don't Bother Me on my way to get a little treat" shirt.
Fantastic. Honestly, I could use that exact shirt.
I got this at Five Below, if you can believe it, for like $5.
Hell yes.
Yeah, I saw it and I was like,
honestly, I'm so here for that.
And the friend I was with at the time is like, "This is Five Below. It probably won't last. It'll just fall apart." And I'm like, well, I will enjoy it until it does.
Okay, and?
It already exists, and now it should exist in my home where I can wear it.
Exactly. Before we really get into anything for tonight, I wrote down something that you said you would explain to me. And the thing I wrote down was 2 words. And those 2 words were inflatable baby. So you want to tell me what the fuck that means, bestie?
Right. It's from class. Oh man. I'm trying to think about how to explain this as succinctly as possible.
Okay.
We were talking about social cognitive theory, which is a behavioral psychology theory by this guy, Albert Bandura. And he did these classic studies with, he called them Bobo dolls, but they're technically bozo dolls. They're like these inflatable clowns that are weighted on the bottom so you can hit.
Bop it ass thing.
Yeah. And so I was like showing them a video and kind of explaining the theory and all that stuff. And I said something about how I had wanted to purchase one to like bring to class on days where we talked about it. So, as like a visual aid, but then also everybody could punch it on the way out and take out their frustrations.
Good plan.
But I've been looking for years, but I don't like clowns, and I couldn't really find one I liked. And I was like, but I haven't really looked in a few years, so maybe there are some better options now. And so, of course, that sets the students to Googling.
As one does.
looking up, and one of the students Googled, whatever combination of words, one of these Bop It dolls that's not a clown or whatever. And he was saying that all the options were absolutely horrible, like
Oh,
they're
fun.
worse. And he said that there was one, I never actually saw it, but that it was a realistic baby, inflatable baby that you could punch. And
I don't know about all that.
I was like, that's kind of unsettling, but I was like, we could give it a shot. I was like, who's up for punching inflatable babies? And some of the students didn't like that. The
Okay.
that I got, I was like, they're not real babies. I specifically put the word inflatable. I was originally going to say, who wants to punch some babies? So,
yeah, I think that would have gotten an even worse reaction.
Yeah, I think asking them if they wanted to punch inflatable babies is better.
I would say so.
Because specifying they're inflatable, it indicates they're not alive. But I guess some of them just didn't like the idea of punching any form of thing that looks like a baby. And it's one of those things that I say out loud in class where I'm like, please don't report me.
Whoopsies.
Again, I didn't say we were going to punch real babies.
Exactly. You put inflatable in there for a reason.
Yes. It's almost as bad as that time where the students were complaining that the classroom we're in didn't have windows that open. And I said, well, that's not really true. Does anyone have a brick?
Oh, you told me about that.
Yeah,
I
was like, wait,
funny. I would have laughed.
It's like, please don't. Or the time we were talking about drugs in the classroom, and they asked why, like, oh, why is like cocaine such a problem? But like we're totally fine with like, weed or alcohol or whatever. And I was like, well, I mean, there are lots of things that are technically drugs that we're fine with, like caffeine. And I had coffee in my hand at the time, and I lifted it up. I was like, look, I'm on drugs right now. I was like, please don't.
Not lying.
Please don't report me.
You're not wrong.
So I am just, yeah. That was what the punching of the inflatable baby was about. But I also, reminds me of a thing I wanted to bring up.
Do tell.
Are you familiar with the phrase, a bird in the hand is worth two in the bush?
Yeah, which the fuck is that about?
What do you mean what is that about?
I don't
like, what does it mean?
Yeah.
It means like if you have a sure thing is better than two potential things.
Oh. Yeah, I guess so.
Because I was in class last week, and one of my students was telling me that she's been like starting to hear back about graduate school applications. Mm-hmm. And she was so excited because she'd gotten this one acceptance and was like, really thrilled. And she was like, I still haven't heard about some of the other ones, but at least I had this one. I was like, bird in the hand and all. She looked at me like I was insane. What about birds? I'm like, bird in the hand is worth two in the bush. And
so you had this exact interaction.
But she had never heard it at all.
Oh.
So she looked at me like I was unhinged or like elderly. Maybe. She was like, say that again? I don't know that I want to now with you looking at me like that.
No, I'm scared.
I tried to explain it. It's like having a sure thing is better than having two potential things that might not work out, right? One sure thing better than two potential things. That's all it means. One grad school application acceptance is better than two maybe eventual acceptances, right? Mm-hmm. So it just made me feel, I don't know. I am getting closer and closer to being old enough to be their parent, and it is upsetting to me.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, I mean, for the seniors right now, I would have still been in high school when they were born, but
doesn't make it impossible.
The freshmen. Mm-hmm. And for the freshmen, I would have been like 21 when they were born.
And some people do that on purpose.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Crazy.
like,
wild.
Yeah, yikes. Wow.
You can't say stuff like that when I'm taking a drink of water. People intentionally have children at the age of 21. Spit take.
Unbelievable. Okay, so with that out of the way, I guess, or cleared up.
I hope it wasn't a
letdown. Class
letdown.
stories. I love class stories so much, and this is why I feel like you need to appoint another me who will write this shit down for you, because I know there are things that I'm missing.
Yeah, I only remember the inflatable baby thing because it went on for a little while, and I had one of those moments where I was like, "Did I say something I maybe shouldn't have?" It was a little far this time.
So the first thing I have for us to discuss is this question that you sent me today, which has been, yes, taking applications for class stories. Please.
Just put it on the screen and nod. I wasn't going to interrupt you. Anyway, go ahead.
But you sent me this question that's been haunting me ever since I was forced to view it with my own 2 eyeballs. And the question is from a Reddit user, Shen of Spades. This was 4 years ago. Would you rather live with a cat with a human face or a dog with hands? They're both so bad. They're both horrible.
I was
and now I'm just thinking of fucking Vladislav from What We Do in the Shadows, where you can
That's what I've been picturing.
The face right.
That's what I was picturing. Is like as soon as I saw a cat with a human face, I was like, I've sort of seen something like that.
That movie is like funnier than it has any right to be, by the way.
So true. So true. What We Do in the Shadows.
Yeah. But yeah,
we sometimes forget to tell people.
It's been haunting me because I don't want either of those things in my house.
I was trolling. I had found a Reddit thread where somebody had asked, like, what are the best, I can't remember the phrasing, but like sort of like innocent type debate topics, you know? Mm-hmm. And so you had all the usual standbys of like, is a hot dog a sandwich, you know, waffles versus pancakes, all those sorts of things. There were a few that were kind of new or interesting, and I kind of made a note of those. But then I came across this one, and I just kind of stared at it for a while.
I don't even want to answer this.
And like,
can you think about the mischief that a dog with hands could get into? They're already shits.
Yeah, it didn't specify. Does it have just like the front paws have hands, or do all 4 paws have hands?
Both are bad.
Both are bad, but one is a little bit worse.
One is definitely a little bit worse. So I'm going to say that the dog just has 2 hands.
You know, I think what this becomes a debate about is, do you want to live your life thoroughly creeped out?
Mm-hmm.
Or do you want to live your life with a troublesome animal that now has opposable thumbs?
Explain.
That a dog with 4 hands is just a chimp.
God, I feel like I don't want either of these things in my house, but I feel like if I'm being forced to pick one, I have to go with the cat with the human face, because the dog could cause so much trouble.
Yeah,
it could open its own like food container.
That's sort of where I landed. Again, it's like being thoroughly creeped out versus having this animal that can wreak havoc, whereas the cat is still just a cat causing regular cat havoc.
It just has
it's creepy and
face.
And like, I keep imagining, like, at least in What We Do in the Shadows, he could like talk like a person with a human face, but like the cat would just meow with that face, and somehow that's more unsettling to me.
I don't like that at all.
like a human face on a cat that opens its mouth and you're expecting it to speak like a human language, and instead it just goes meow.
Bad.
That's gonna haunt me. It's gonna haunt my dreams tonight.
Yeah, that is a pretty cursed concept. So
Man,
I think if I'm being
should've-
forced to pick one, it's probably going to be a cat with a human face. I'm not going to like it.
Yeah. I really wanted to.
Oh no, I don't like that at all. That makes it even worse.
Sorry, I was pulling up a picture from What We Do in the Shadows, wondering if there were a way to get it on the screen. I don't know if it's possible.
That is one thing I do miss about when we used to use Discord.
Mm-hmm. So unsettling.
Deeply unsettling indeed.
Yeah, all these pictures seem to be low quality for some reason.
I think it's because it doesn't really the shot doesn't last all that long in the movie. It's like a quick whip pan towards it and then away from it.
It's a shame I can't even put them in the private chat.
Oh well.
Producers, they're away.
Fucking What We Do in the Shadows human cat.
Oh. Yeah. Did I push something? I think I pushed a thing.
I don't think you did.
Okay.
Nothing changed on my end.
It did for me for a moment, and then I put things back. So it's fine.
Cool.
Instead, I just put it in the WhatsApp.
Oh my god. Here. You want to take a look? There we go. That's good enough.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh my god. What's really funny about that is
oh, there we go. Perfect.
Nobody else has context for the picture.
Yeah, I know. Arthur and Nick are gonna be so confused.
Just
what the hell is wrong with you?
Cat with a human face. That's what they get for not listening to the pod.
Yeah, that's that's on them. That is on them as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, I can only imagine all the things that a dog with human hands would do. Like, yeah, they would definitely get into their own food.
They could open their own treats.
They could open doors.
They could open doors. They could open cabinets. They could open child-proof locks.
But also, like, I feel like they would grab you.
There'd be a lot of grabbing, and I don't like that.
No. Because they they can clap.
Oh. Yeah.
Just thinking about it. Yeah, I was just trying to imagine all the things that a dog would do with human hands. And
a lot of trouble. A lot of trouble. All right, with that horrifying conundrum dealt with, shall we say?
Yeah.
Let's move on to something much more neutral. When you're brushing your teeth, do you wet your toothbrush before or after putting on the toothpaste?
So when I found this in the same Reddit thread, I read some of the replies.
Okay.
And people got very heated about it.
I mean, wonderful. That's what we're all about.
I actually had to pretend I was brushing my teeth to remind myself of what order I even do it in, because I do it automatically, you know?
Yeah.
And I was like, how do I do this? I wet it after the toothpaste.
As do I. I think
Chris said before.
But why? You're not doing anything.
He said to rinse it off. He said to rinse it off.
Oh, I guess.
I mean, it still gets rinsed off even if you do it afterward.
Yeah.
But I was trying to think about why I would prefer to do it afterward. And this is going to get real scientific. I feel like with the toothpaste already on it, there's more surface area for the moisture to sort of cling to, and you get more water when you brush your teeth.
Yeah, you know what? Why not?
Because I feel like if you just rinse the brush, like the water just and it's right off there, right? But once you have the toothpaste on there, it's like something for it to cling to a little bit, and it's better at staying
Perhaps.
on the brush. Again, real scientific. It's just a feeling. I mean, it has been hanging out in the bathroom all day, but even if you do it after you put the toothpaste on it, you're still rinsing it.
Mine has a
And
little
hopefully,
toothbrush cover.
I was going to say, and hopefully you're covering the toothbrush because bathrooms are gross.
Bathrooms are gross. Yeah, definitely always after.
I used to do both. And then I was like, why am I doing this to myself? What is the point of either of these?
I almost just sent my phone flying.
Oh, fun. There was somebody in
So coordinated.
Somebody in the replies who said neither.
Ugh, I don't like that.
Like, you don't have enough saliva in your mouth. Like,
that's so dry. Why would you do that?
I feel like you couldn't even get like a lather going, you know, like foaming.
No,
action without water.
That's bizarre. I don't like that.
Yeah. I believe somebody said something like it's like trying to brush your teeth with cement or something at that point.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah.
No, I don't like that at all.
No, me either. But yeah, I feel like I would rinse it and then I would put toothpaste on it and then I would rinse it again and I'm like, that might be too much water. So maybe. I had to pick one or the other and I went with toothpaste then water.
I like it.
And that's the best explanation I have is it somehow seems like it retains more water that way.
I mean, hey, it's an explanation.
It's one of those things where I feel like most of our topics, I tend to try to look at it in this very like logical, like scientific way. But there are certain things where, no, it's entirely vibes. And this is one of those cases.
Like me when I cook mac and cheese.
It feels like it retains more water. And that's my reason.
I didn't actually write this down, but do we want to do this ranking question that you found in this thread? Rank the original multi-pack of Frito-Lay brand snacks in your preferred order from best to worst. And by original multi-pack, we mean those like the ones you get at like a fucking Costco, right?
Yeah, the big like boxes of like the little chip bags.
Of little mini chip bags. So we've got
there it is.
Doritos, Cool Ranch and Nacho Cheese, Cheetos, Lay's, Fritos, and barbecue Lay's. Rank in order. Best.
This is pretty close to the order I would put them in.
I would swap. I would swap. Nacho cheese Doritos are number one for me, first of all.
Oh, see, I go ranch over nacho cheese.
I feel about nacho cheese Doritos the way that David Lynch felt about Cheetos, in that he would have a giant bag of them in his dressing room when like people had him cameo in their movies, and like that was his one stipulation. I gotta find that. I'll link that quote. It's fucking hilarious. God, rip to a real one.
That makes me think of that time. There was that guy. What did I see that on? I don't remember one of the social media platforms, but some guy in New York City ate an entire one of those giant like barrels of cheese balls, but he made it like a thing. Like he went around and he put up posters all over the place saying,
"Oh my God, I know exactly what you're talking about." Man,
Yeah.
There's just such a charm to the city, isn't there?
Meet me here at this time in this place and watch me eat this entire barrel of Cheetos. And so many people showed up and cheered. And yeah, It was incredible. And that
Hold
now
on,
anytime anybody mentions
I'm finding the
cheese-based
David Lynch
food.
Cheetos quote because I just find it really fucking funny. Yeah, he says one of the things he said about it was you need to get the big bag, otherwise with a small bag, then you'd be, quote, prowling for days to find more. Yeah, it's pretty addictive stuff, the person who's interviewing him. It really is. It's incredible flavor. I don't know why I find that as funny as I do. I just think it's hilarious.
Crunchy Cheetos or like the puffy Cheetos? That's just a general question, not about David Lynch specifically.
Oh,
it's just a question about crunchy versus puffy. And Chris says crunchy over puffy.
Are the crunchy ones not the original? I'm really not a Cheetos gal, if I'm going to be completely honest with you.
Interesting. You know, there's nothing quite like eating a bunch of Cheetos and then having the cheesy fingers that you can very grossly then like lick the cheese off your fingers.
That is such a like, you know, that's the way I feel about when I get the fucking Dorito seasoning on my hand, and the way I feel about, you know, those fucking lime Tostitos.
Oh yeah.
Love them shits. Also, I'm pretty sure I recall one of your cats licking lime Tostito dust off of my fingers.
That seems about right. I feel like it was Bella. Was it that long ago?
Sure. Yeah, it was quite a while ago, but I distinctly remember bonding with one of your cats over my like nasty chip finger.
Yeah, that's why I feel like I have like a image in my mind of Bella licking your fingers. It looks like crunchy came first.
That's what I thought. I thought the puffy ones were a later special edition type bullshit. Well,
it says is a crunchy corn cheese puff snack. That's not. I mean, I guess they're all technically crunchy. Has crunchy and puff in the same one.
Ain't that a bitch? Yeah, I think for me it goes Nacho Doritos, Cool Ranch Doritos, Lay's, Fritos, Cheetos, barbecue Lay's. I kind of don't fuck with the barbecue Lay's.
First of all, I choose puffy over crunchy. I like...
You know what I fucking like? And I don't know if this is like a regional supermarket thing or what. The Jax cheese puffs, Jax, love them shits. Those are delicious. I have no idea if that's like a northeastern US thing or what. But those things are awesome.
I had them, not seen them. I don't know. I like the puffy ones because something about the texture of them I enjoy, and they can like legit melt in your mouth, which I find.
And that's another. That's why I don't like the OG Cheetos, because they're not puffy. The Jax ones are puffy, and they're fucking awesome. I'm gonna like make sure I have some of those the next time you're here. I'm gonna make sure that's part of our snack pool.
And toaster strudel. I keep forgetting you've never had toaster strudel.
No, I haven't.
I don't know. I grew up, we only ever had the puffy ones. Like, I never even had crunchy Cheetos until, I don't know, college. So I always thought puffy was like, this is normal. This is what they're supposed to be like. Yeah. So the crunchy ones are fine. Like, if that's the thing that's available, I will eat them. But I'm not going to seek them out generally. Although I did recently get some Cheetos that are supposed to be Mexican street corn flavored.
And how
they
were
those? Horribly disappointing.
Aw, you hate to see it.
I think I ate like 3 of them. 3 whole Cheetos.
Tragic.
But anyway, yes, puffy over crunchy. I would just take the barbecue Lay's and move it up after Cheetos. So it would end up being Cool Ranch, nacho cheese, Cheetos, barbecue Lay's, classic Lay's, Fritos.
All right. We should make a tier list template. There probably is one, but I don't feel like going to find it.
Chris, your list was missing the Fritos. No, you just realized. He's nodding. Because I was like, Fritos to me are just boring.
They are kind of boring.
Fritos ahead of both Lay's.
Interesting.
let me tell you, sometimes just every once in a while, regular, just plain salty potato chips,
They
like,
hit so
sound
hard, and for
so
what?
good. Yeah.
Okay, but my favorite brand of potato chips, though, it's the Cape Cod potato chips.
Yeah. They're like a
Espe-
kettle chip, right?
Kettle chips, especially like when you get the one that's all like folded in on itself for whatever reason.
Interesting.
It's like
I don't like that.
exponentially crunchy.
I feel like but that goes to a general category of like you enjoy the crunchier things and I like the softer things, like brownies, edges and whatnot.
I do like a good brownie edge.
Yeah, which I don't. I like the middle pieces.
I mean, I also like the middle pieces, but if someone hands me an edge, am I going to say no? Absolutely not.
I mean, nobody says no to a brownie in any case. Unless it's like horrible, like somebody did a terrible job.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Because I was thinking about it and I was like, there have been times where I have been given cake that I did not eat because it was so bad.
Yikes.
And it's like, I didn't think that was possible. But
yeah, how do you fuck up that bad?
I don't know. And it was from it was my brother's wedding cake. So it was like a fancy expensive cake from a bakery. And I was like, why does this taste like garbage? My parents thought the same thing. I think they used too much fondant or something.
Oh, yeah, maybe that'll do it.
It just tasted weird and I didn't like it. And I have never been one to turn down cake. I love cake.
Wow, that sucks.
Yeah.
All right. Would we like to get into the asshole of the week?
Sure.
All right. So I found this one. I feel like you're going to have strong opinions about this one because it involves crochet.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, I haven't even looked to see if you did post it. So.
Okay. So the question is, this has already been judged, but we're going to set that aside. The question is, am I the asshole for declining to fix the errors I made in a blanket I crocheted for someone and taking it back instead? Let me read the post. It's medium length. So 1 second here.
Okay.
I made a blanket for my sister-in-law, Amanda. I was able to give it to her last weekend. She'd asked for it in certain colors. I didn't have any other projects on my to-do list, so I was happy to make it for her. I had most of the colors already too, so it worked out. When I gave it to her, she was excited and she started to look it over. I figured it was to see how it was put together since she doesn't crochet. After a little bit, she said that she loved the blanket, but she couldn't help but notice some of the little mistakes I'd made along the way. I asked her what she meant, and she pointed out some things like I'd accidentally done 1 row of striping instead of 3 for one section. I'd switched to the wrong color and threw off a quote-unquote pattern at some point, etc. She handed it back to me and told me that she loves my progress with it and couldn't wait to see the finished project. I told her that it was finished. She looked down at it and said that it wasn't done until it was perfect, and I'd made several mistakes that I could easily go back to correct. I was honestly dumbfounded by this. I hate the way perfectionists try to force their quirk onto others. I made this blanket for her for free out of my own free time because I love her. I told her that. She said she knows and she loves me for it, but she wouldn't be able to use it because she wouldn't be able to focus on anything but the mistakes. I said whatever and took the blanket back and said that if she doesn't want it, I'll keep it. She looked surprised and said that she does want it. She just wants my best work and not something half-ass. I told her that if she thinks me crocheting a whole fucking blanket and making minimal errors is half-assing it, I'd rather just keep the blanket. She's so upset with me and told me that I was acting ridiculous and that it wouldn't take me long to fix it. If you know anything about crochet, you know that if I made an error on row 36 of a 1,115 row blanket, that's essentially starting over again. Anyway, I come to you all. Am I the asshole? Absolutely fucking not, brother. Did I break you?
Where do I even start with that?
I mean, please, start ranting, girl.
First of all, it can take, it depends a lot. They don't mention anything about yarn weight or anything like that, do they?
No. Sorry. Minimal detail about the actual project.
The amount of time it takes to make a blanket. whether it's knitting or crocheting, like it varies a lot depending on like the thickness of the yarn. That's what I mean by yarn weight. And like the complexity of the pattern, right? So it varies a lot, but we're talking hours upon hours upon hours. Also, it is far more expensive to make a blanket than it is to buy one. That goes for anything that you knit or crochet. It's more expensive to make a thing than it is to buy the equivalent thing. Because yarn is expensive, even if you get the cheap stuff. So she put in who knows how much money into this blanket, hours and hours and hours of her life. And this is the thanks she gets.
Yeah, no, fucking rude.
And that's one of the major issues of crocheting versus knitting, is that at least with knitting, you have all those live stitches. So if you did mess up a few rows back, you can actually drop it down and fix it if you're, good enough at knitting. That's not possible with crochet. You can only get to it if you unravel it. So it is very common in the fire arts community to just let the mistakes go if it would be too much effort. I personally can't do that. It would drive me insane. But
yeah, but that's also just you. Like, I'm the same way, but I know not everybody is.
Yeah, but like, if somebody goes through that amount of time and effort to do a thing for you, this reminds me of the coffee one.
Yeah.
Right? Because like, if somebody goes to that level of effort, even if it's not perfect or exactly what you want, you say, thank you. This is incredible. I appreciate you doing this for me.
And then you move on.
Yeah. Just like the coffee. He got up, he tried to make the coffee exactly to your specifications. If it's not perfect, you drink your coffee and say thank you, and then make it the way you want it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the audacity of somebody who doesn't know how to crochet saying it wouldn't take that much time.
Yeah.
This one makes me want to throw hands.
I would love to see you throw hands, to be honest, bestie.
Yeah, like that's a part of hand making things. If you want something perfect, buy something.
Yeah.
Right? Like that's supposed to be the appeal of handmade things, is that they are one of a kind, and part of what makes them one of a kind is their little quirks and, mistakes and issues and things like that.
Yeah. Also, you could learn to crochet your own fucking blanket, bitch.
Yeah, to appreciate what you have requested from this person.
Mm-hmm.
Also saying that it's half-assed.
Yeah, what the fuck? That's so rude.
There's no such thing as half-assed when it comes to making something like that.
Like, you either have made the object or you haven't.
Yeah. Like, I suppose you could stop halfway and be like, this is long enough, right? That might be half-assed. But like,
yeah.
But no, I can't imagine how you could even half-ass something. Imagine saying that to a person who is making something for you free of charge.
Yeah, unbelievable.
Like, it's one thing if it's like an artist, making it, and you're paying that person, so it's not like a family member.
Yeah, if you've like commissioned something,
you're a customer. Yeah, but a family member making you something out of the kindness of their heart for free, and you have the audacity to complain that it has a couple mistakes.
No, unbelievably rude. You are not the asshole for taking the blanket back. That you worked hard on that, and they're not going to be grateful for it. That's yours, buddy.
When it's like, if they're not going to appreciate all that time and effort that you put into it, you can keep it and you can appreciate it and enjoy it. Yeah. And that's the thing. That's one of the reasons I have trouble giving up stuff that I've made, is like, they all kind of feel like my children in a way. I'm largely over that with like the loaf cats and stuff, because they have taken over my home. But but like, anytime I knit sweaters or shawls or blankets or whatever, like, people keep telling me, they're like, you should sell them. You have all this stuff that you've made and you don't like, I just have bins in the closet of things I've made. And I was like, I couldn't do that. That would be like parting with my kids. Also, nobody's willing to pay what they're worth, technically.
Oh, I would pay you for a sweater.
Well, like, each shawl that I've knitted, for example, is well over $100 worth of yarn, let alone the time it took.
My statement stands.
make a custom design. If you just lay it out on a grid, it can be done.
I will
about it
think
like
about
cross
that.
So
Yeah,
yes,
no,
not the asshole.
resounding not the asshole from both of us there, friend.
Yeah. If you want something perfect, you should not ask for something handmade.
No, that is the whole,
that's
the
about the end
whole
of it.
part of the charm.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
All right. Would we like to get into the weekly worsening?
sure.
Begin the meditation.
You are without doubt the worst pirate I've ever heard of.
Listen, cue ball, you're only making it worse.
Thanks, that even makes it worse.
It's worse than you know.
It usually is.
I think that's the worst thing I've ever heard.
That's the worst goodbye I've ever heard. And you stole it from a movie.
How marvelous.
What do you got for me, bestie?
The video games. Well, so I mentioned before we got started that I was messing with my setup again, which is why I didn't even realize until I was like getting in, like coming onto the studio. I was like, what is my camera pointing at? It was just laying on my desk. I was like, right. So I didn't quite reset everything. But I got a mount for my big monitor because the stand was taking up too much space. And so I got that set up because then I got a sound bar with a subwoofer.
Fancy.
Yeah, so now the sound bar can fit underneath the monitor.
Cute.
And man, the sound quality is incredible. It's a Razer Leviathan.
For you. Ooh,
so it's like
very
specifically
nice.
for gaming. Yeah, it's
very nice.
specifically for gaming. And the first time I played like with the speaker on, I was like, this is incredible. Like it feels like I'm there. Like every footstep sounds like it's.
That's so awesome.
Wow.
I cannot wait to see your setup when I come hang out again.
Yeah, so now I don't know what I could possibly add to this between my 4 screens, including my big one and the sound bar and my new controller and
yeah, girl, I don't know. I think you are maxed out.
Yep. Although I am thinking about getting a desk mat that has like a wireless charger built in. So maybe that. But other than that, I can't imagine anything else.
Nothing else springs to mind for me.
But yeah, I'm starting to think I might be developing a bit of a Skyrim addiction.
Where are you at? What quest are you doing?
First of all, I never mentioned the reason I even started playing it in the first place. It is the dumbest reason. I was watching Law & Order SVU a few weeks ago, and at the very end, there was this kid who said, I just started a fresh playthrough of Skyrim. Would you like to play with me? And then I was like, I should do that.
Okay.
That's the entire reason. I was like, I
right,
already own that game. I might as well let me go play it right now.
But yes, tell me everything about Skyrim, bestie. I want to know it all.
I don't know. I'm in the middle of so many things. I couldn't even tell you. Like, the Archmage of the College of Winterhold.
Holy shit, girl. That was fast.
Yeah, I'm the Archmage. I don't know how many dragons I've taken down at this point. Like I've done a lot of the main quest lines. Like made major progress on those. Yeah, no, it's.
And what are you putting all your points into?
I have been focusing a lot on enchanting.
Nice.
Because I like enchanting things, and that's all the explanation there. A lot into lock picking because I get really mad when I come across locks I can't pick.
Understandable.
My favorite weapon is the ebony greatsword.
Nice.
Which I've enchanted to steal souls. So
perfect.
Yeah, no, it's absolutely massacring everything in its path. So my two-handed skills are like off the charts at this point. So yeah, I want to get better at smithing. I'm trying to focus on that a little bit, and speech.
I put so many points into smithing and now all my armor and weapons are Daedric.
Nice. Yeah, no, I just got some glass armor that I'm pretty excited about. So cool looking. Yeah.
Armor does look awesome.
Yeah, and I had a full set of elven armor, every single piece of which I had enchanted for some different purpose. But
I love that.
But then I got the glass armor, and I was like, but I don't have the matching like gauntlets, and hopefully I'll find them.
Well, you'll get there.
Yeah, I'm playing a lot. Also, it's the Steam Spring Sale, and I bought like 5 or 6 more games the other day.
Hell yes, queen. Nothing on my wish list is at all that good of a discount right now, so I don't know if I'm going to get anything this time.
Yeah, I came across a couple things that I hadn't seen before, just kind of browsing. So I got a few things I'd never heard of before, but it sounded cool. But I also got like Mass Effect, and I got Elder Scrolls. Not Elder Scrolls.
Ring? Elden Ring?
Yes. Why did I? They're close. Elder.
Girl, God fucking speed with Elden Ring.
Yeah. It was on sale, and I was like, yeah, sure, why not? So I can't remember what else I got, but a bunch of things.
You will need to tell me as soon as you give that one a try, because holy shit.
I mean, I am firmly in Skyrim right now. I've been playing it every day, and it's a thing of beauty when at night and I turn off the lights in here because my soundbar has the RGB and everything.
Nice.
My giant screen, all that.
Yeah, that does sound really nice.
But yeah, I left off last night. I was at the Bard's College in Solitude, so I'm going to be a bard.
I love that for you. How else are you worse?
I think that's the primary is like investing more in my gaming setup and playing lots of games. Although, again, I'm drowning in loaf cats, so cons can't come soon enough.
They're just around the corner.
Get these things out of my home. They're haunting me.
Everyone, get loaf cats. She's your girl.
Yeah. I went to Joanne Fabrics a couple of days ago for the first time.
Joanne.
Yeah, for the first time since they made the announcement. I've been putting it off, and I legit almost started crying when I walked in the door. Like, I go to Joann's more often than I go to the grocery store. Like,
understandable.
And what's really sad is, like, you know, it's starting to really empty out. Not a whole lot of stuff left, but the discounts are still not as good as they normally would have been. Like, yeah,
so what the fuck is up with that?
Like yarn, it's like, oh, yarn 20% off, and it's like, yeah, but sometimes it would go 40 or 50% off, like as a sale. Like, I don't.
Yeah,
anyway, I bought.
I don't know what all that's about.
It's a 2-yard minimum right now, so I was like, give me 2 yards of that and 2 yards of that.
There you go. That's fun.
So now I have a bunch more fabric.
There you go. Well, as I already said, one of the ways that I'm worse is that I went and bought real, actual, from an optometrist, like, glasses frames for a cosplay. For, like, a simple cosplay.
Yeah, but again, you'll still get to use them in other contexts, so it works.
So that's definitely a way that I'm worse. This arrived in the mail today. I had this pre-ordered last year. Look at him.
Ah, nice.
So that's a way that I'm worse. I have him and I can put him in situations. And he matches the other 2 that I have. They're up on top of my shelf there.
Jeez. He stays. He doesn't stay in the package?
No. He's mine.
Are the other ones in their package?
I've taken them out.
Oh, okay.
I kept the packages because they're cool looking, but no, I take them out and put them in situations.
Okay. Let me know if you need me to 3D print things to put them in situations.
Oh, don't even give me that idea, bestie. That's dangerous.
That's one of the beautiful things about having a 3D printer. You know, it's like there are all these situations where it's like, man, I wish that they would make this thing because that would be.
But what if I just made this thing?
I can make this thing.
Yeah,
I was looking up little tables to print. I can't find a pattern for one that looks like a stainless steel medical table for the Herbert Wests. Because we have the same Herbert West.
Yeah.
But I might just design a basic table and print it in silver. That's probably as close as it gets.
There you go. That'll work.
It needs a table for the head and the little bin and, all that.
Mm-hmm.
So.
How else am I worse? I continue to play Minecraft.
It
consumes much of my free time. And I continue to be on my cosplay bullshit. Just planning things, making things, collecting.
But like, where are you gonna buy fabric now? Where do we buy fabric now?
I don't know, man.
I am not exaggerating to say that I am emotionally devastated by the closing of Joann's. I have never been so upset in my life about a store closing.
No, like, genuinely, it does suck. It's just another fucking thing ruined by private equity.
But there's no alternatives, is the thing.
Exactly. It's just another it's just another example of the enshittification of everything.
Yeah. No. At least like most of the chains that close, it's like, okay, I can't get my Home Goods at Bed Bath & Beyond anymore, but I can there's like a billion other places.
I can go to Home Goods.
Uh-huh. But no, not in this case.
No. And that sucks ass.
I'm so mad.
As you should be. I'm trying to think. I feel like I had one more thing, but I can't remember what it was. Do you have any other ways that you're worse that would maybe jog my memory?
Not that I can think of at the moment, but let me tell you a brief little story about when I was in Joann's the other day.
I love a good story.
There was this, I'm assuming it was like a mother and daughter, but like the younger one was like maybe in her 30s, and then potentially her mother, because they looked a lot alike. But they were looking through the embroidery supplies, like when I had seen them in the store. And then I get up to the front to purchase my fabric, and they're at the checkout counter. And all I see is the entire counter covered with spools of embroidery thread.
Mood.
The cashier had to scan them one by one and toss them in a bag. The line kept growing and growing and growing as she keeps scanning, and they keep putting more on the counter. The grand total, 256 items that they bought.
Holy shit.
256 things that she had to scan. Yeah. And everybody in the line is sitting there just like, are you serious? And then when I got up for my turn, it was a different cashier. She leaned over. She was like, thank you for not buying 256 things. I was like, no, I just have this one slip of paper that you need to scan. All the fabrics on it. You scan that. I pay. I leave. One thing. Scan one thing. But I thought that was like insane.
That is a little bit insane.
Like, I get wanting to stock up and stuff. And, you know, if that were something I wanted to do, tough people, you can wait, you know, but it wasn't that good of a sale.
Yeah. See, if
and I overheard them.
If it was all like half off everything or more,
yeah,
I get it. I kind of do.
Yeah. But I overheard them talking when we were back in the store, and they said that the one in Greece, which is like 20 minutes from here, has like deeper discounts on everything. So
yeah, but what
might have to make a trip out there. So I don't know. It's on a store by store basis. Although I did love that they had these signs up everywhere that said store closing and then this location only on the bottom. But then somebody had just put tape over the only. Store closing, this location.
I pretend I do not see it.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we're getting closer to con season.
Yes, I'm getting very excited.
I regret that I will not actually be attending ToraCon this weekend.
Tragic.
Apparently the deadline to purchase your tickets was last Friday. A full 8 days before it starts.
Odd.
And they don't do tickets at the door. Something about the university rules.
Oh, all right,
sure,
like,
well,
whatever.
If I would have known that, I was waiting to see how my foot was doing, you know.
Yeah, that'll do it.
So I went to buy them on Monday because I was like, I wore a real shoe today. I think I can do this. And then it said registration was closed. So,
Well, that sucks.
yeah, I won't be doing that. So it looks like my first of the upcoming season will be Retro Nerdfest.
But that'll be exciting. It's getting closer.
Mm-hmm. Let me tell you, I am really excited about the birthday present that I got you. I know that's like way, but I can bring it with me that weekend.
Yay!
I am.
Well, don't I feel special?
I put so much thought and effort into it. It's still on its way here, but
Oh my god! Oh my god!
you'll see. Yeah.
Well, now I'm extra excited. But yeah, no, con season getting closer is definitely like I feel it breathing down my neck, ready to make me worse.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like as soon as you mentioned it, I was like, oh yeah, that is really close.
Yeah, because that's in like I just looked at it earlier today. Is that 2 weeks away? 3 weeks away? 3 weeks away. No, 2 weeks. What? Where am I? Who am I? What's happening? That's 2 weeks away.
Yeah, that's exciting.
Huh. Yeah. So that's
Hell
and then
yes.
only like a month later will be Saratoga.
Very fun.
I just got a text from a friend today like, what do you think about doing all 3 days of Niagara Falls Comic Con this year?
I mean, 3 days
So
to
we have
cosplay.
3 days of hanging out in Canada. So we
Kind of
get
fun.
a hotel up there. Yeah. I mean, I like the area. That was a good con.
All right. What do we got coming up on the network, Bestie? Other than cons that we're going to be at Retro Nerd Fest at SUNY Adirondack on April 5th from 11 to 4.
Mm-hmm.
And we've got our bowlandbee.com. Use code MONSTERMEAD at checkout for $5 off an online mead order. Those guys are awesome. That shit absolutely slaps. So you should 100% check them out.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And then Saratoga Comic Con.
Saratoga
which is the
Comic-Con.
first weekend of May.
Yes. And then what else have we got going on? Vinland tomorrow, but not on the 27th.
Oh, news to me.
Letting you know now. No, Kyle and I are going to be at one of the David Lynch screenings.
Ah.
So we will be skipping the stream next week.
Season 2, 4 through 6?
Correct. That's tomorrow. Defend Friday. Don't know what movie it is, but I know.
No, because there is no Defend Friday. We had it last week.
Oh, yeah. No Defend Friday. Defend next week, whatever that's going to be. And then bringing it back around on Monday with your regularly scheduled programming. Big Dumb Monsters, no regrettable reviews, Fighting with Friends, and then no stream on next Thursday. But stream tomorrow.
Jaws the Revenge on Big Dumb Monsters for Monday.
Ooh, fun.
I intended to join you for regrettable reviews last night.
Did something happen?
I was sitting here playing Skyrim and I looked at the time. I was like, oh, it's 7:15. I can just put you up on one of these other monitors. And then the next thing I knew was like,
and then
9 o'clock. And I was like, oh, that 15 minutes went by very quickly.
Sure went by real quick.
2 hours ago.
I was wondering where you were.
So no, I was playing Skyrim the entire time you guys were doing the pod.
Oopsies.
And then I realized belatedly what time it was.
Oh well. Plenty of episodes for you to watch in the future. All right. I think that's going to bring us to a close for tonight. As always, thank you for fighting with us, friends. We appreciate each and every single one of you, and we'll be back again next week. We'll see you then. Adios, everybody.
This week's episode of the Fighting with Friends podcast was hosted by Bridget Kelly and Dr. Sarah Brookes. You can find other episodes of the podcast on YouTube, iTunes, Spotify, or your other favorite listening platform. Catch us live on Twitch every Wednesday and Thursday. You can subscribe to our Twitch channels to watch our live broadcasts without ads, or donate to our Patreon for ad-free access to our entire library of past episodes and streams, as well as fun bonus content. Fighting with Friends is a member of the Big Dumb Monsters Podcast Network. Check out the links in the description for more episodes from us and from all of the shows on the network. Thanks for listening.